This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com.
Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is 7/18/22, show number 409. Markets starting off the week in rally mode, huh, Nick?
Yeah, it is. It's continuing the rally that we saw on Friday. Friday's rally was pretty robust, especially if you could go into a weekend. A lot of people these days don't want to hold into the weekend. But we had a good rally on Friday and a little continuation today. The one thing I would say is that we're a little bit overbought in the short term, so markets may need to stall out a little bit. I don't know if we'll have a lot more upside from where we are already, but you have the NASDAQ composite up 1%. You have the Russell up about 1.5%, the S&P up about 0.7% along with the Dow. So it's not a bad day to start.
Oil also up today, huh?
Oil is catching a bid today, and I don't always view that as a positive. Oil is back above $100 a barrel, trading around 102. Anytime oil has moved back above $100, I think you've got to be a little bit on the cautious side. That's really a tax on all the consumers out there. So right now, when you look at oil, trading higher a little bit today.
Hey, well, I was at the gas station. I took the Tesla to the gas station to buy a soda, actually. And I saw that some of the gas prices were down below $5 per gallon regular. I mean, it's on sale.
It's on sale, yeah, around $4.30 a gallon. It seems like a bargain these days.
A real bargain, and everyone is internally grateful out there. Hey, so bond yields, what's the deal?
So yields are up significantly today, in my opinion. Earlier they weren't up as much. Now they're up about 6 basis points on the 10-year, trading to around 2.99%. The 2-year note is up 3 basis points at 3.17%. So just so everybody's aware, that's an inverted yield curve. So you got an inversion between the 2s and 10s, meaning the 2-year yield is higher than the 10-year yield. That is not a positive for banks, despite the banks having a pretty good day today and having a pretty good day on Friday. But ultimately, this is be problematic down the road. This is a really, really good forecast of a recession. We may already be in one, who knows? But it's never a good thing to see an inverted yield curve if you are bullish the market. And we've had an inverted yield curve out here for the last couple of weeks pretty consistently.
Right. Hey, so gold prices, gold is finally catching a bid?
Gold is finally catching a bid. It's not a huge bid, but gold futures are up about $10. They're very, very oversold. They've been really under a ton of pressure, but they're being defended around the 1700 level today, trading at around 1714 on gold futures. So that's a little bit of a positive. You're also seeing a little move up in gold miners as well. So nice little pop for gold today. We'll see if it can get a little bit more of a bid. I think it's very oversold in the near term.
Okay. What's happening with Bitcoin?
Well, today we have Bitcoin also pretty strong. So if you take a look at Bitcoin futures, they're up about 4%, trading right around that 22,000 level. So they've been bobbing and weaving above and below 20,000 today, trading at around 22,000. Right now, Bitcoin is in a bit of a pattern where it can still go a little bit higher. But I just want to stress to everybody, the bigger overall pattern is still very negative. So while it lives to fight another day, and that's the term I've been using for a while, in the bigger picture, I do think it's going to make another nosedive down the road. But we just may not be at that point yet. The pattern still may have more time to go before it plays out.
Yeah, well, it keeps bouncing off of that 2017 high.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
All right. So interesting things happening there in the market. What do you think we're looking at longer term, though?
No, longer term, I think it's not a good overall picture. I mean, there are a lot of problems here, a lot of things coming to roost. It doesn't matter if it's Bitcoin. It doesn't matter if it's the S&P 500. there's a lot of problems here. The central banks are, at a point now where they're no longer printing money. They're actually doing quantitative tightening. That means they're withdrawing liquidity out of the system. And then if you look at what the Fed has done regarding raising rates, it's going to be another 75 basis points, most likely at the end of the month, possibly even 100 basis points. So, again, these are not positives when it comes to liquidity. And then if you look around the globe, civil unrest, Europe is a mess. I mean, it's just, I've never seen anything like it in my life, but that's why I use charts to try to catch these bounces and then try to play them the other way when they're ready to fall.
What I wanted to discuss was the dollar. The euro and the dollar basically in parity.
Yeah, we basically have the dollar right now. The dollar has slipped some. So we did have the dollar index and the euro basically at parity. But I do think the dollar has gotten a bit stretched now. So we definitely want to be a little bit careful here. But yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since we've seen that happen where the dollar and the euro are at par. But, the euro is starting to gain a little bit against the dollar recently, just from a very oversold technical position.
All right. Well, that is an interesting phenomena that many of you out there never thought you'd live to see. The dollar actually eclipsing the euro, even for a brief period of time, probably pulling back a little bit now. But the problems in Europe haven't by any means been addressed. So we can look forward to more of that. And you should go over to inthemoneystocks.com, see how Nick has beaten the averages for decades. The Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, and at Kerry Lutz. Of course, your emails are welcome, kl@kerrylutz.com. I promise you this week we will get to them. Nick, we'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Sounds good, Kerry.